What is up, guys? Welcome to episode 3 of Fast Break at Tundra Baller. I hope you guys are having a great Saturday, and let's get things started. We have a lot of things to talk about today. So today, we have three big things that we're going to be talking about today. So we're going to be talking about the NBA teams that are tanking, being accused of tanking, or teams that could be tanking possibly with a lot of injuries. And pretty much teams that are at the bottom of the league right now, and they have a lot of injuries, shutting down players for the rest of the season. Could be because of tanking. Who knows? But they have actual injuries as well. The second big thing that we're going to be talking about today is Jaylen Brown's incident that he had at the event at Beverly Hills during All-Star Weekend, that Saturday of All-Star Weekend, and three Clippers games today. So the Denver Nuggets game from last Thursday, or no, not last Thursday, but Thursday a week ago. Then the next day, the Clippers-Lakers game, and last Sunday's game, which was the Clippers versus Nuggets. So I am recording this on a Thursday before the Clippers and Timberwolves game that happened last Thursday. You're listening Saturday if you're listening live or at a later day. And but yeah, I am recording this before the Clippers and Timberwolves game. So I'll definitely be talking about that game next week of whatever happens. So I'm pretty much talking about the three Clippers games after All-Star break. So if it talks about NBA teams tanking, it all started with two NBA teams when they got fined big time by the NBA. So the first team was the Utah Jazz. They got fined $500,000 for how they managed their lineup on February 7th and 9th. Those games were against the Orlando Magic and the Miami Heat. They did not play their star players like Lauri Markkanen and Jaren Jackson Jr. in the fourth quarter while the game was close. They lost to the Magic by 3, 120 to 117. The Jazz, they were up by 11 at halftime. After the third quarter, they were up by 7. So they got outscored 33 to 23 in the fourth quarter to lose the game. The Jazz, they beat the Heat by 4, and they were up by 3 to start the fourth quarter. The Heat got a 5-point lead with 4 minutes to go. The Jazz took back the lead when Bryce Sensabaugh hit a 3 and 2 free throws to take the win for the Jazz. Both of those games were without Lauri Markkanen and Jaren Jackson Jr. in a close game despite both of them being healthy. So the Jazz, they have 3 players that had season-ending injuries. Jaren Jackson Jr. with a knee injury, Jusuf Nurkic with a knee injury, Vince Williams Jr. with a torn ACL after hyperextending his knee when Jabari Smith Jr. stepped on his foot. A lot of people said that was a dirty play. I don't know the context of what happened, but it looks like it was just accidental. So last Wednesday, there was a report about Lauri Markkanen. He got hurt at practice with a right ankle and hip injury. He is going to get an MRI to see if this injury is serious and how bad this is. But after these reports came out, though, the NBA decided to send doctors to verify if this injury is legit or if it's just a minor injury or a huge injury, because they already have 3 players are out for the rest of the season. Like I said, Jaren Jackson Jr. and Jusuf Nurkic with knee surgery, and Vince Williams Jr. with a torn ACL. So pretty much all of them, 3 knee surgeries pretty much. ACL, and then Nurkic and Jaren Jackson Jr. with their knees with the problems that they have. And they are 18 and 40 going into last Thursday's game. So sometime after those reports came out, the doctors would not be sent after all, but they will have access to the results of the MRI. As of right now, he was ruled out for last Thursday's game against the New Orleans Pelicans. The other team that got fined big time was the Indiana Pacers. They didn't get fined $500,000 though, only $100,000, 20% of what the Jazz got. But yeah, $100,000. They got fined because they rested Pascal Siakam and 2 other starters against the Jazz on February 3rd. They were all healthy, by the way. That day, 5 players were listed as out. Pascal Siakam and Benedict Mathurin for rest purposes. Now Benedict Mathurin is a Clipper now. This was before the trade deadline. Andrew Nembhard with back injury management. TJ McConnell, that guy from the finals that went off when Tyrese Halliburton got hurt in Game 7 of the finals, with knee injury management. And Aaron Naismith with a left hand strain, and Obi Toppin with a right foot stress fracture. So this is the NBA statement. Following an investigation, including review by an independent physician, the NBA determined that Pascal Siakam, a star player under the policy, and 2 Pacers starters, neither of whom participated in the game, could have played under the medical standard in the policy, including by playing reduced minutes. Head coach Rick Carlisle, he said that before the news went out publicly, he gave a statement about the situation, saying that he was against it. Aaron Naismith, so that was one of the 2 Pacers starters that the NBA did not name in their statement. So he was injured the night before, and he couldn't hold the basketball, according to Coach Carlisle. He was out with a hand injury, a hand strain specifically, and the league said that he should have played in that game. He was not in the interview process, but he heard that he didn't want to talk to doctors and Naismith because they didn't need to, according to Carlisle, what he said in an interview. Besides that, Obi Toppin and Ivica Zubac are both out indefinitely as of right now, with no timetable of return. So this upcoming Wednesday, the Pacers are playing against the Clippers at Intuit Dome, and as you guys know, Ivica Zubac, he got traded to the Pacers, and I hope he plays. It might not be likely right now. He is still having no timetable of return as of last Thursday, but I hope that he plays this Thursday. So another team that could be tanking is the Washington Wizards. They are one of the bottom teams in the league right now. They recently traded for Anthony Davis at the trade deadline, with D'Angelo Russell, Jaden Hardy, and Dante Exum from the Dallas Mavericks for Chris Middleton, A.J. Johnson, Malachi Branham, Marvin Bagley III, 2 first-round picks, and 3 second-round picks. The Wizards also got Trae Young from the Atlanta Hawks, but both of them haven't suited up yet, and AD is expected to miss the rest of the season. And finally, one more team that could possibly tanking is the Sacramento Kings. They have lost 16 games in a row before winning a game recently, which is a franchise record. They had 3 key players out with season-ending injuries. Zach LaVine with a hand injury, Domantas Sabonis with knee surgery, and DeAndre Hunter with eye surgery. And about 2 weeks ago, Shams Charania, he put out a tweet on Twitter, like a Shams bomb about things about possibly prevent taking. So this was when the NBA office, they had a meeting with the owners of all 30 teams, and this was some of the ideas to prevent tanking. So first round draft picks can only be protected only for top 4 or top 14 plus selections. Lottery odds freeze at the trade deadline or at a later date. And another idea is that teams can no longer allow a team to pick in the top 4 in consecutive years and or after consecutive bottom 3 finishes. Another one is teams in the top 4, they can't pick for a year after making the conference finals. And lottery odds are allocated based on 2-year records, so if teams want to tank, they gotta be bad for 2 straight years. Lottery extended to include all play-in teams, and flatten the odds for all lottery teams. So So in the NBA lottery, the bottom three teams they have the best odds at 14% to give a first overall pick. And you guys know, like last year when the Mavericks they got the first overall pick, they had the lowest chance of getting the first overall pick. With Nico Harrison trading Luka to the Lakers, that was crazy. And somehow they got the first overall pick the next draft to draft Cooper Flag because, whoever was going to give the first overall pick was going to get Cooper Flag. So, I don't know. What do you guys think of this? I think this could be fair. I don't know about allowing play-in teams because what if the play-in team makes it to the playoffs and they go far? So let's say they make it to the conference finals or to the finals or second round. So you're telling me that if they do use this idea, by the way, all of these ideas, they're all not set yet. These are just ideas. But I don't think that they could just use the teams in the lottery that didn't make it to the playoffs if they make it to the play in, you know what I mean? And take out the teams that made it to the playoffs. Because just imagine a play-in team that makes it to the playoffs and they go far, and you're telling me that they could be in the lottery? I don't think so. So I think just for 14 teams that don't make it to the playoffs, that they would be in the lottery, but it could be a good thing to flatten the odds for all lottery teams. But the West, they're a tough conference, you know. So it could be, the top two teams in the West that don't make it to the playoffs, they could have like a decent record, like 42-42 or something. Or no, sorry, 41-41. That's 82 games. But just imagine, you know. But maybe teams want to lose, but you know it should be like football kind of like the bottom teams they get the pick. You know, like I'm a Raiders fan. I was happy that they got the first overall pick because now getting Fernando Mendoza, really happy about that. But that's besides the point. But yeah, what do you guys think? Just let me know on my TikTok or Instagram. My socials is Tundra underscore baller underscore zero. I also make content on TikTok too. Have about 300 followers and I am trying to grow on TikTok. So make sure you guys follow over there. So that's one incident that we have covered today. We're going to be talking about another incident that happened during All-Star Weekend. This is Jaylen Brown's Beverly Hills incident. So during All-Star Weekend, at the Saturday of All-Star Weekend, so the day of the shooting stars, the dunk contest, the 3-point contest, it was a really nice day. And as I talked about the last two episodes, if you guys were listening, I was invited to the All Star Weekend, all 3 days, and it was a great experience because I am part of the swell for the Clippers. But that's besides the point. So during All Star Weekend, Jaylen Brown from the Boston Celtics he hosted an event in Beverly Hills, but it was shut down by police. This was a private event for his brand 741, which is his own brand, a performance brand, at a place in Trousdale Estates that belongs to Oakley founder Jim Jannard. According to Brown, the event was about future culture, future leaderships, and how industries work together. At around 7 p.m. that day, police arrived to shut down the event because the event did not have a permit, according to them. He spent about $300,000 organizing the event, and his sponsors spent about $300,000 to $500,000. In a video, he was seen talking to the police saying, I'm trying to get some answers because we spent a lot of money for this and we're not really getting a clear reason why we got to shut it down. So the Beverly Hills officials, they released a statement saying, upon further internal review, the city determined that its prior public communication contained inaccurate information. Specifically, no permit application was submitted nor denied for the event, and the residence does not have any prior related violations on record. The city takes full accountability for the internal error that resulted in the inaccurate statement being distributed and is working to ensure it does not happen again. So this was said by the Beverly Hills officials. So Jaylen Brown, he also pretty much released a statement about this. So he said, I wanted to enjoy myself, and I felt that got taken away. I was embarrassed. If it happened to me, I'm sure it happened to a bunch of people in the past. I look at it like that. There is probably a bunch of people that don't scream, falls on deaf ears, which is unfortunate. I'm not sure what the conclusion is. Even the statement that they put out, they included some stuff that wasn't true, even the apology. So he pretty much did not like the statement that they put out and their quote unquote apology also. So Jaylen Brown, he did not take that lightly, and now the Beverly Hills Police Department is now being accused of racial profiling. There's about 2 lawsuits that's happening at the police department there. So some pretty big things are happening over there. So now the last part that we're going to be talking about, and a lot for this episode, is the Clippers. So we're going to be talking about the first 3 games that happened after All-Star Weekend for the Clippers. So they had 2 home games and 1 away game. I missed my first home game of the season 2 Thursdays ago. It was, I went to every single home game, and I was planning on going to every single game, but I'm not going to say here. But there were some important things I had to go to first, and it's okay if I miss a few games, but it was fun to watch the end of the game at home. I wasn't able to watch the first half, but I was able to watch the second half at home on a replay. But I was glad to watch the second half of this Clippers Nuggets game. So let's talk about that game, okay? So the Nuggets, they started out hot, going up 15-6 after the first 6 minutes, and then the Clippers, they gained momentum to take the lead to end the quarter 25-24. Ben Mathurin, making his home debut as a Clipper, he scored 11 points in the first quarter. Most of the second quarter, it was close, but the Nuggets went on a 12-6 run in the last 4 minutes to end the half, 52-45. Bruce Brown scored 12 points in the second quarter to lead the Nuggets, and Benedict Mathurin, he scored 7 more points to end the first half with 18. So that's crazy. In your home debut, coming off the bench, yeah, he did come off the bench, and he scored 18 points already coming off the bench. The Nuggets, they shot 10 for 23 from the 3-point line, which included Julian Strawford's perfect 4 for 4 from 3, and Bruce Brown's 3 for 4 from 3. Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray, they were both off in the first half. So then Nikola Jokic, he shot 2 for 9 from the field and only had 4 points in the first half. Jamal Murray, he only had 3 points, going 1 for 9 from the field. The Clippers, however, on their threes, they were off. Compared to the Nuggets' 10 for 23, the Clippers were 3 for 17 of their 3-pointers. 2 of them were from Ben Mathurin, and the other one, it came from John Collins. The second half started, and the Nuggets, they were up as much as 7 points. The Clippers, they took the lead back by scoring 5 straight points with a Yannick Cohen-Niederhauser floater, Yannick Panic, and a Nico Batum 3 to end the quarter up 78-77. The Clippers went from having 3 made threes after the first half to having a total of 7 made threes after the third quarter. In the Clippers, they scored 33 points in the third quarter. So now, fourth quarter, clutch time, 1 point game after 3 quarters. It stayed close the whole time, the fourth quarter. The Nuggets, they had the lead for most of the quarter, but the Clippers took back the lead with less than 3 minutes to go when Derrick Jones Jr. made a three. Boom. I absolutely love that guy, Derrick Jones Jr., man. Huge impact of a team. If you guys are not a Clipper fan or watch a lot of Clipper games, you guys don't know how much he is to the team. He may not put up a lot of stats, or he may give you like a good, I don't know, like 7 to 12 points a game, but he gets the job done on offense, on defense. Just amazing player. We have a lot of great role players. The Nuggets, they tied the game with 46 seconds left when Nikola Jokic had a hook shot, and then Bruce Brown fouled Bennedict Mathurin in the bonus, and he knocked down both free throws. On the other side, Jokic goes for a layup, and it was blocked by Brook Lopez. It wasn't last shot yet. The shot clock was still on. It was a few second difference, and Tim Hardaway Jr., he fouled Derrick Jones Jr. to make him shoot both free throws with 25 seconds left, and both of them go in to double the lead with 25 seconds left. And Tim Hardaway Jr., he didn't need a foul either. I remember seeing when he fouled DJ, Derrick Jones Jr., he had his hands on his head like, oh my god, like, oh, I didn't need to foul him. But yeah, I was like that too. I was like, really? They didn't need to foul him, but thank you for fouling him, Tim Hardaway Jr. Thank you for helping us. He's with us. Like what people say when playing basketball. And then after those free throws, Jamal Murray made a quick layup to cut the lead in half with 19 seconds left. And then after that layup, Mathurin, he made a great pass to Brook Lopez to dunk it with 13 seconds left. They were probably going to foul whoever caught the ball, but it was a great pass from the inbound. It was a long pass to Brook Lopez, and then he got the dunk. Maybe could have been an and one, but it was definitely not enough. The defender just had his hand on his back. So after that, Jamal Murray, back at it, he hit a quick three in 2 seconds to bring the lead to 1 with 11 seconds left. Mathurin, he got fouled again, and he hit both free throws to make it a 3-point game. So the Nuggets, they wanted to take it at the last second. Jamal Murray went for the three, and he was fouled by Derrick Jones Jr. He needs to make all free throws, all 3 of them, to tie the game. And I don't know why. So here's the thing too. The away team, they decide where they want to shoot first. So the wall, right, for the Clippers? So it is a section, a 51 section on one side of the arena. And it has the best Clipper fans, only Clipper fans only. You need to pass a certain test to be in the wall. And in 13 of those rows, right in the middle, there's a section that I'm in as a season ticket holder. It is called the Swell. So you may have seen on TV when teams are playing at the Clippers arena into a dome, when the opponents shoot free throws and they are being distracted or the fans are trying to distract them. That is me. I'm those people. And the Nuggets, they decide to shoot in front of us, in front of the Swell, for the second half. So Jamal Murray, he needed to make 3 free throws in a row in front of them. So he makes the first, he made the second, and he missed the third. The Clippers, they got the rebound and they win 115 to 114. That was probably one of the best games at home that I missed as a season ticket holder for the Clippers. Man, that was a great game. There were a lot of great games that I went to as a season ticket holder so far this season, but that one, it might have been one of the best. Besides that, one of the best Clipper games was the last time the Clippers and Warriors played each other when Curry got fouled out and Steve Kerr, he got ejected. But that was a crazy game too. But let's talk about Benedict Mathurin. He got 38 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. And that was in his home debut as a Clipper. That beats Jamal Crawford for most points in franchise history in their home debut coming off the bench. Just what a crazy turnaround for the Clippers, Just crazy. Kawhi Leonard, 23 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. Derrick Jones Jr., probably one of his best offensive games of the season, with 22 points. So let's move on to the next game, the Clippers versus the Lakers. Brook Lopez, he started the game by scoring the first 7 points for the Clippers. After the Clippers were going up 7-2, the Lakers, they started to catch fire. The Clippers, they were still able to score 30 points, but they weren't able to match the Lakers' 41 points in the first quarter. Luka Doncic, he just decided to go crazy, and he scored 17 points in the first quarter while making 4 threes. The Lakers shot 8 for 9 from 3 in that quarter. In the second quarter, the Lakers had a 16-point lead, 50-34 at one point. After that, the Clippers slowly came back and brought the lead down to 5, but the Lakers, they kept a 7-point lead at halftime, 72-65. John Collins, though, in the second quarter, he took a hard fall when he was going for a layup and got hit midair by Jackson Hayes. He hit his head on the ground and he started bleeding. He was out for the rest of the game and got stitches on his head. He didn't get a concussion, and he was ruled out for a head laceration and neck soreness. Luka cooled off, though, by only scoring 5 in the second quarter, so he finished the half with 22. And Kawhi Leonard, he caught fire by scoring 19 points in the second quarter. He ended the half with 21. So let's talk about another thing before going into the second half. So as I said, Jackson Hayes, he hit John Collins mid-air. That is not a basketball play, right? That is a very dangerous play, and the worst case scenario happened. John Collins, he took a hard fall, got hit in the head, hit the head on the ground. It is not a soft landing, and his head was bleeding. That was not called a flagrant foul. But another incident happened that was called a flagrant foul. Yannick Niederhauser, he lightly elbowed LeBron, and it looked like LeBron flopped from that, and that was called a flagrant foul. So I don't know what to say about that, guys, but it looks like that for refs, they just had some favorites going into this game. Clippers versus Lakers. A lot of people, they don't like the Clippers. They get hated on daily, even when they're winning. But that's besides the point. Moving on to the second half. 3 minutes into the second half, the Lakers, they brought the lead up to 15, 82-67. 5 minutes later, the big lead was gone, and the Clippers took the lead for the first time since the first quarter. The Lakers took the lead back right away, and the Lakers were up by 4 at the end of the third quarter, 99-95. Then Mathurin scored 9 points, and Austin Reeves scored 12 points in the third quarter. So now going on to the fourth quarter, both teams were going at it by scoring a lot of buckets. With 5 minutes to go, with the Lakers up by 3, Kawhi Leonard, out of nowhere, he was ruled out for the rest of the game. Like I said, out of nowhere, with an ankle injury. It was a timeout. I was at Buffalo Wild Wings watching this game. And funny story too, my dad and I, we were the only loud Clipper fans in the restaurant. and there were some other Clipper fans too, but they were kind of quiet. But literally, we were just being loud, like how we are at Clipper games, being the swell. And although they couldn't hear us for Lakers, we were chanting miss, 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 miss whenever they would shoot free throws. My dad and I were just going real crazy. Well, Laker fans, every time they scored, they would be loud, like everyone else in the restaurant. So it was like everybody else against my dad and I, and a few other people in the restaurant. But yeah, it was a commercial, and then when they came back from the commercial, there was a video of Kawhi Leonard talking to head coach Tyronn Lue, and then he went to the locker room pretty much. And the commentators, they were talking about it, like, oh, Kawhi Leonard, he is out for the rest of the game with an ankle injury. And I was like, what? But after the game, Tyronn Lue, he said that Kawhi's been dealing with ankle soreness for a while. He's been playing through it, and it just became really stiff at that time. And Kawhi also stated that he didn't want to ruin his availability for the next game on Sunday, 2 days later, against the Orlando Magic. The Clippers, they had to play the last 5 minutes in a close game without their best player against Luka, LeBron, and Austin Reeves. Their second leading scorer, Ben Mathurin, for the Clippers, he fouled out with 1:49 left. So their top two best scorers, or leading scorers, with less than 2 minutes to go, they had to go without both of those guys. So Luka, he brought the lead to 5 after making 2 free throws with 21 seconds left. On the other end, Jordan Miller, he drew a foul and made both free throws with 10 seconds left. And then the Lakers called a timeout to draw the play. And the play did not work because Nico Batum, he stole the inbound pass from LeBron. And he had a wide open shot at the top to tie the game, but it was off. The Lakers, they won 125 to 122. So some stats for this game: Kawhi Leonard, 31 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. Ben Mathurin, 26 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists. Brook Lopez, 16 points. Especially 7 of those points, they were the first 7 Clippers points, and he also had 10 rebounds. Luka Doncic, 38 points, 6 rebounds, 11 assists. Austin Reeves, 29 points, 6 rebounds. And LeBron James, he had 13 points. About this game, it was a second game of a back-to-back. The Nuggets game and the Lakers game that I just talked about, it was a back-to-back game. So the Nuggets game, it was on a Thursday, and the Lakers game was the next day, the Friday. So, they were tired, the Clippers, right? They're supposed to have less energy than the Lakers. This was the Lakers' first game after a week. And, this was a really hard fought game for the Clippers. Although they lost, I am proud of how the guys played because Kawhi Leonard, he got hurt with 5 minutes to go. Benedict Mathurin, the leading scorer besides Kawhi, he got fouled out. We should have gotten killed when Kawhi got hurt. But the team, they kept fighting. I feel like the Clippers, they could beat anybody with whoever the Clippers have, especially when the team is healthy. Besides Bradley Beal, we don't really care about Bradley Beal right now. The Clippers. This upcoming Wednesday is Bradley Beal bobblehead night, and I don't think a lot of us are really excited about getting Bradley Beal's bobblehead. But it would be cool, right? Next season when he's healthy, because he is out this season with a hip injury. But hopefully he plays good next season because we definitely need players to get a lot of buckets besides just Kawhi Leonard and Ben Mathurin. But I'm telling you guys, the Clippers, on paper, they should have gotten killed by the Lakers with 5 minutes left. But I believe in the Clippers with whoever they have. Like it could be 5 G League guys against Luka, LeBron, Austin Reeves, those guys. But the Clippers, they keep fighting. I believe in the Clippers, no matter who is who is in, who is out. Like going in today's game, for example, the day that I'm recording this is a Thursday. The Clippers against the Timberwolves. Before I started recording this episode, I found out that Kawhi Leonard and John Collins aren't playing against the Timberwolves tonight. And the Timberwolves, they are fully healthy. So they have their guys like Anthony Edwards, Julius Randle, Naz Reid, Dante DiVincenzo, Rudy Gobert. Those guys, they have been losing games, but still they are a really, really good team. Anthony Edwards, he is one of the best young guys in the league right now, besides Shea, Brunson, Wemby. Just a great player, Anthony Edwards. So we have one more game to talk about today. It is the Clippers against the Magic. So as I said, he is out for the Timberwolves game, John Collins, and he was also out for this game from last Sunday, the Magic, due to neck soreness and a head laceration after taking that hard fall after getting hit by Jackson Hayes midair from the Laker game. For the first bucket of the game, Kawhi Leonard he stole a pass from Anthony Black and dunked it on the other side, right on Paolo Banchero, poster, first bucket of the game. What a great way to start for the Clippers, right? Kawhi Leonard, poster. But yeah, his ankle is alright. The Magic, they started to get momentum from Desmond Bane and Tristan Da Silva, especially when Bane hit a three at the buzzer to end the quarter. The Magic are up 29-25 to end the first quarter. At the second quarter, both teams scored 28 points in the second quarter to end the half, with the Magic up 4, 57-53. And Desmond Bane, he scored 18 points in the first half for the Magic. Kawhi Leonard scored 12 points in the quarter, and Mathurin scored 12 points for the Clippers. In the half, the Clippers only made one three-pointer, shooting 1 for 11, and that tied the season low for the lowest amount of threes made in the second half for the Clippers, not everybody. The Clippers, they had a great start to the second half, taking the lead 3 minutes into the third quarter. But the Magic, they took the lead back for a while, but the Clippers got the lead again to end the quarter 89-88. Ben Mathurin made a midi at the buzzer, and Kawhi Leonard, he went off. He is the CEO of going off at random quarters, at 1 quarter every game, and he scored 18 points in the third quarter for the Clippers, and they were up 1. So the Clippers, they had a 4-point lead with 4:49 to go. And after that, the Clippers, they struggled to score. Before that, Clippers rookie big man, Yannick Cohen-Niederhauser, remember his name, guys. He is going to be big one day. And he made his first career 3 in the NBA. The game was tied with 1:26 left to go. And Yannick blocked Bane's layup, but it was ruled a goaltend. After reviewing the play, the refs couldn't find any evidence that Yannick didn't hit the ball after it hit the backboard. They only reviewed the play because one of the refs called the goaltend first, and they wanted to confirm it since it was a close game in the last 2 minutes. This brought the Magic up to 2. Banchero got a quick layup after Yannick missed a floater to double the lead to 4 with 40 seconds left. Kawhi, he brought the lead back to 2 with 28 seconds left with a jumper. And the Clippers, they needed to get a much needed stop to try to win or tie the game. So they were down 2. Kawhi got a steal, and he passed it to Ben Mathurin to win the game. But unfortunately, it was no good. So just like the Laker game, it was no good at the buzzer a game-winning three, and the Clippers, they lost to the Magic 111 to 109. So going into Thursday's game, they are 27 and 30. So the Clippers, they would have been 500, 28 and 28 if they didn't lose to the Lakers. We're just really close to 500, guys. Kawhi Leonard, he scored 37 points in this game. That is 36 straight games of scoring 20 or more points. That is second in franchise history, right behind Bob McAdoo with 44 straight games. So he is just 9 games away to breaking the record. Ben Mathurin, 21 points and 5 rebounds. This young guy, he is only 23 years old, guys, and he's going off. Desmond Bane, 36 points, 5 rebounds, and 1 assist. And Paolo Banchero, 16 points, 7 rebounds, and 8 assists. So, let's talk about Ben Mathurin a little bit, guys. So, he is averaging 22 points as a Clipper going into last Thursday's game against the Timberwolves. He is really going off. 38 points against the Nuggets. He is just a big time guy. When Ivica Zubac got traded, and I found out that we got Ben Mathurin, Isaiah Jackson, and 2 second-round picks, I kept an open mind about it. But when I saw how much Ben Mathurin was averaging, which was 17, and now he's averaging 18, it was like, okay, maybe we got somebody solid here, because I'm pretty sure that I heard about him before, Ben Mathurin, but I didn't really realize how good he was. He was playing a lot for the Pacers this season because of Tyrese Halliburton. He is out for the season, or supposed to be out for the rest of the season. But after watching him, I think he's one of the best scorers on the team. So this is a really good pickup. Brook Lopez, he is not looking like Ivica Zubac, but he's getting the job done, and we're able to have a big man that can shoot threes. Yannick and Niederhauser, hopefully we could get more consistent on the jump shots with him, because that would be really big. I like Brook Lopez and Yannick. Both of those guys are really good defenders in the paint. They get a good amount of blocks, or just make the shot tough for whoever is shooting in front of them. But I like those guys. Yannick, he's good for our future. We are a younger team. We went from being about 32, 33 years old to about 28 years old on average for the team. And we got rid of James Harden. He is getting up there in age, but I'm happy that he's doing good for the Cavaliers now. But he now has a broken finger. I think it's a thumb, but hopefully he is all right. He didn't play on last Wednesday's game, so hopefully he's all right and he doesn't miss a lot of time. But it would be fun to play against the Cavaliers in the finals. But guys, I believe that the Clippers are going to make it to the finals and win a championship every year. The only way I'm going to say that they're not going to win a championship is if the Clippers don't make it to the playoffs, or they get eliminated straight up in the playoffs. So, but eventually, I'm going to be right when the Clippers will win a championship. They will win a championship. Like, I could say it every year, and I'm going to be right eventually. So, but as of right now, I got the Clippers winning the championship. So, that is pretty much it for today's episode, guys. So, I am on every Saturday at 11 a.m., which is at the time you're listening to right now, if you are listening live or at a different time. But I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys next Saturday.